Welcome back to the Ygartua Art Chronicles podcast, discovering the extraordinary life and career of artist Paul Ygartua. In this episode, we rejoin Paul and Joanne as they continue to recount their times in Mexico and Vancouver at the outset of the 1970s. And Mexico, because it's the nearest place which is accessible with a different culture, with a very different culture or different language, I suppose. Is that right?
Well, it's the only place you could drive to.
Yeah.
Also, for me, I was certainly interested, to work on my Spanish. And, I mean, it's a wonderful, Mexico's
and because I spoke
so close.
Spanish, so it was a natural place to go and see
Acapulco... I guess we did hear a lot about it. As they say, they call it the Saint-Tropez of Mexico. And, a lot of the movie stars, I guess, used to go down there. Tarzan.
Well, I heard about it from England because of the Acapulco divers.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I loved about the divers, because I did a lot of diving when I was swimming and that myself in Spain. I used to dive off the cliffs in Spain. So I wanted to go there to see it,
Yeah.
So that was a couple of the reasons why we wanted to. And plus it was the furthest basically point away from Vancouver.
There's always...
By land.
Yeah.
That was quite a trip. When we got to the border in Mexico, they wanted to empty the car, to check everything and look at everything. And I said, oh, no, that's crazy, Oh, he said, well, it'll cost you, You have to pay $10. I said, oh, God, no, carry on then,
It's like
search the
$100
car if you want to. He said, no, senor. He said, this is all in Spanish. He said, we take all day.
What?
we remove everything. I said, okay, here's the $10.
They get their money.
Everything's like that in Mexico.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Back then, I'm not sure about today.
It was just exciting to hear the language, to see how things work in
the drive
different countries.
down was incredible because we'd never driven in Mexico before. I mean, you're driving along and suddenly there's a dead cow in the middle of the road with his legs up in the air.
Rigor mortis.
And we just drive around it, But you better make sure you don't kill a dog, an animal or anything, because then the farmer's probably waiting behind a bush to sue you.
That's quite a long drive from Vancouver all the way down through Seattle, through LA, San Francisco.
Altogether, it was
We
about
took
3 weeks
altogether, I guess.
3 weeks to drive down there.
No, 2 weeks.
2 weeks to drive down there. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just over 3,000 kilometers, I think, from LA. You can do it in 4 odd days, but of course that was
really.
then.
Not in those days. The roads were so bad in Mexico,
Well, we started to travel, get up early, starting at 6 in the morning because of the ditches. Oh my gosh!
And the heat.
Yeah, everything was so.
Because I had no air conditioning, nothing.
Yeah, no air conditioning.
So we had windows wide open all the time.
But it was mainly to see, first of all, the dead animals. You want to make sure you miss.
Not only dead animals, we saw dead people in the street as well.
I think we saw one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They'd been in an accident. And they were just lined up at the side of the road.
Yeah,
cops were there and everything, but they don't.
They don't
cover them or anything. They just leave them there.
Every day is a new experience in Mexico. It's quite something.
Absolutely. But the radiator had a leak and it was squirting out water. So we had to figure what was
only half a day before we got there.
So I ended up using chewing gum and just blocking the hole, and it worked. I couldn't believe it.
But all of a sudden, it was like a tropical jungle going into Acapulco.
Really?
It was just unbelievable, all the foliage, and you could see the tropical birds. And I mean, when you're actually
lizards were,
the iguanas,
they're like massive 2-foot long lizards in the trees.
Crossing the road and
tarantula. We actually stopped. I stopped the car once because of this tarantula crossing the road.
Yeah.
And it was like, if you imagine putting your fingers and crawling your fingers, it was as big as my hand crawling across the road.
We didn't know at that time that they could jump.
Yeah, and I was poking it with a stick.
I'm not sure.
And then we found out later that they can spring about 2 meters.
I mean, they're not all poisonous.
I don't think those were.
Yeah,
The little black ones that go in your shoes are the worst ones.
Well, those in Australia.
Yeah.
So, because you'd driven through a lot of desert or sparse.
A lot of desert, yeah.
Yeah.
What's
It's the biggest desert in North America. We went through the Chihuahua Desert.
The Chihuahua
Desert, yeah.
When we went through that, my gosh.
Vultures, everything at the side of the road, lined up on the fences.
Yes, and nobody, no cars, nothing.
Okay.
Really wild.
So you arrived in Acapulco, and where did you head, or what was the...
So anyway, we got this place that was really great right by the beach. It had a brick. It didn't have any windows like glass. It was all brickwork, you know.
Yeah. With holes in
open
them.
space. Yeah, that was the style.
Oh, yeah.
For airing and everything. That was natural air conditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
big fans and everything, you know.
Yeah, they're very clever, really, how they do things.
Tons of lizards.
Yeah.
Well, the lizards. Oh my gosh.
She hated them at first.
Yeah.
Then she
used
started
to
to love them
congregate
because
at the door with the light.
yeah, they ate all the cockroaches, so we ended up liking them.
I mean, this place was clean. Our garbage was out. It's just that there's so many animals. Like as we were saying, even the lizards climbing up trees. And,
Oh, yeah.
It's this tropical heat that, just what produces more and more of them, I guess.
Of course,
They multiply.
Yeah.
They were our little friends.
They were friendly in the end, of course.
They would, they would greet us when we came in. We'd say, "Okay, go and do your work now."
The clean-up job.
Clean-up job.
Did you see any parallels between European Spanish culture, and did you feel anything?
No,
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 really.
not at all.
Very different. Very different, yeah. Spain was
it's another world.
far more cultural, visibly, you know what I mean?
Different culture.
Architect, different, yeah, but I'm saying, obviously the Mexicans have the Incas and the Mayans background,
Yeah.
but as far as the daily life and city and towns,
Well, we were just in a resort.
we were in a resort,
wasn't
so
till we got to
it was
Mexico
different.
City.
Yeah. Mexico City's got the culture.
Right. Okay. Acapulco, it was a hive of Hollywood activity and partying of lots of famous people, wasn't it, at that point?
Yeah, we never saw.
We never saw anything. We never knew any of that. We went to the hotels now and again for a drink, but we never saw.
They're just they must have been hidden away.
They were probably hidden away. Yeah, I don't know. We never saw much of that. Our beach was right in front of us, and the centre of Acapulco was about half a mile away.
I think that beach now has huge.
Yeah, now it's all
hotels.
built up, I'm sure.
Yeah, this is 50
our beach
years
was
ago.
plenty, nothing, just had little shacks
Yeah,
where you get yourself a drink or something, you know.
yeah. They said Tarzan had bought the Flamingo.
Oh, that's right.
The Pink Hotel, but
Johnny
I think,
Weissmuller.
Yeah, I think that
The first Tarzan. He was the
Yeah.
first Tarzan. He bought a big place there on the beach, didn't he?
Flamingo, but I think it's like the more secluded
Yeah,
areas.
he was there when we were there, but we never saw him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long did you... So you stayed in Acapulco for how long? And what did you get up to in terms of art?
About 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Well,
6
I
months
guess
there?
I painted a lot
5
of.
months.
I was painting a lot of sunsets and sunrises and things like that, because that was the most impressive thing to see, the fishermen's nets through the sunrise, you know.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we'd work from that, taking photographs and working from those, you know.
You did one of Manet that I have kept.
Oh yeah, and we used to go to another beach which was it was called Sunset Beach, and the waves were like 15 foot high there, so it was a fantastic beach for surfing.
Playa de la
Playa
Cuesta.
de la Cuesta, it was called, yeah. But when we were on the beach every day,
But
we had one interesting thing happened one day, and that was when we had a chap come up to us with a long white sort of shirt on, and he had this towel wrapped up with things in it, and he crept down, crouched down to us on the beach, opened it up, and all it was just a bunch of gold jewellery, rings and bracelets, an Omega watch,
Right.
and he says, "Quick," he says, you buy, you know. And I'm saying, no, I don't have any money. And he says, no, $200, $200. Well, God, I mean, according to me, I mean, it looked like there was about $20,000 worth of stuff in this towel.
We shouldn't have taken
And I
part
said,
in a
so I said to
heist.
Joanne, I said, how much money do we have, Joanne? So we pulled together $40. I said, I've only got $40. Oh, no, he said, no. And then he said, well, look, oh, okay, he said, I have to take this. They took some of the stuff out. I got the Omega watch, a bracelet, and a bunch of rings. And so I took them and I gave him the $40 and he scooted off, right? So I thought, Christ, these got to be stolen. So I grabbed them all and buried them underneath my towel under the sand. And we lay there. Anyway, about 4 minutes later, this guy comes up and flashes a badge and says he's a policeman. And we just bought stuff off this guy illegally and he has to take it from us. Ooh. I said, no. I said, I spoke to him in Spanish. He said, no, not me. I didn't buy anything. He came. I said, he came, showed us, and then left. We don't know what we didn't buy anything. So he stood there for a few minutes arguing with me and saying he saw us. And I said, no, you didn't. And he even looked around the bag, even in Joanne's bag, couldn't see anything. So he ended up leaving, right? So we felt, oh my God, what are we going to do? This is the cops now. They know we've taken the stolen property. Yeah. So we get home that night. And anyway, we're looking at the jewellery, thinking, how the hell are we going to get all this through the border and everything? It'll be all, they'll have it all marked or whatever. So I put all the jewellery on and the bracelet. And the next morning I wake up, I'm ring, all green. My fingers are green, my wrist is green. Oh my God.
It's all brass.
It was all made of brass. But you know what? In the sun, shiny, it looked absolutely fantastic. And the workmanship in the bracelet of the Omega watch. I mean, obviously it wasn't an Omega watch. No. But the face was. You know what I mean?
I was going to say you'd done silversmithing and.
Oh yeah, I should know, right?
You should have known.
Yeah. So anyway, but the workmanship in it would fool anybody.
Well, they're experts at copying.
I mean, the bracelet itself. I mean, God. I mean, even as a fake, it's worth a hell of a lot more than what we paid. So I'm thinking, okay, well, write it all off. We just ended up with that, So I'm thinking it's gone. It's all over. 4 months later, we're on the beach again. And this guy's coming along again.
No, the same guy.
The same guy. So and then as soon as he saw us, he ran down to the beach, right? And so I went after him. I said to Joanne, watch this. So I ran down after him. And I said, hey, excuse me in Spanish. I said, excuse me. I said, remember me? No, senor. I said, yeah, you remember. You sold me all that fake, phony jewellery for $40. I said, and I want my money back. He said, no, senor, sorry, senor, I can't give you your money back. And if you don't leave, I shoot you.
Okay.
So I looked down in his pocket and it was either a finger or a gun. So I just said, hey, well done. I thought that was a good one. And I just walked away from him, right? Anyway, you know what I realised? That was not a policeman. That was a guy coming to actually get the stuff back.
And do the same scam again.
Do the same to the next tourist.
Oh, that's pretty clever, yeah.
But then with Christmas coming.
Oh, God, then Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
So, well, first, you see the advertising on these little boat trips and the special night out and all that. So we thought, well, we may as well do, something. Yeah. So we get on that boat trip and they talk about going to a little island and there's going to be the music and
free drinks
and all that. This faraway island was about 10 minutes. You could see it from the shore.
They stopped the engine and just drifted onto this sandbank.
So then anyways, as we always say, I mean, you had fun anyways. You're sort of always surprised because you can't believe.
Joanne was being serenaded by these guys with a guitar.
Yeah, when we get back on the boat. So here, I have my bag and I often took my passport. So here, these guys... beautiful voices, and here I'm just listening to them, and I didn't even have my...
I'm busy queuing for my third drink.
Yeah, probably that. And I didn't... Well, this is on the boat coming back.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So I didn't even have the bag on my shoulder. It was just at the side. I mean, anybody could pick it up. I mean, how crazy.
Yeah.
And anyways, somebody did pick it up. So when we're getting off the boat...
They didn't even steal it. You gave it to them.
Well, just about. So they probably thought, wow, look at that, just sitting there beside her.
Boy.